Tyreece Campbell in, Shamar Nicholson out. What does this mean for the Jamaica Reggae Boyz? Join Premier 7 right now for the big chat. Greetings and welcome to another episode on Premier 7. I am your host, Ryan Nelson, coming to you today with a video of importance as it relates to the Jamaica men's national team. The topic of importance is all about Tyreece Campbell in, Shamar Nicholson out. What does it mean for the Jamaica Reggae Boyz? I am certain that you guys have seen the squad that has been announced for the second round of the World Cup qualifiers, and there's been some names that has been changed for different reasons, but one that stood out to me is all about Shamar Nicholson being replaced by a Tyreece Campbell. And from this topic, before I dive into the important matters, I just have to bring across the poll that I have done within a few days from now, which speak about the question, how do you feel about Shamar Nicholson being dropped for the World Cup qualifier second round? And from that poll, I have received 192 votes thus far, with majority saying normal, 68%, followed by 23% being grateful, and 8% stating that they are shocked. Thus, I have received 15 likes, but what stood out to me was the comments from, for example, Tafari Wilson that says glad with a lot of laughing emojis. And if you can see also from CN All 3142, his comments state too static on the pitch. From that, I just want to say big up to all of the persons who, drop their comments, and also for those persons who have even liked the poll. Big up on yourself, and thank you guys so much for your comments and for supporting Premier 7. As you can see above, I have 1,932 subscribers. So if you're new, please go ahead and subscribe. And if you are already a subscriber, then you know what to do. The aim of Premier 7 is to reach the 2K mark. All right, so you're seeing here that Charlton winger Tyreece Campbell gets Reggae Boyz called up for the World Cup qualifiers, and this was a day ago. So Charlton Athletic winger Tyreece Campbell is the only new name in the Reggae Boyz squad ahead of the final two games in the second round of CONCACAF World Cup qualifiers against British Virgin Islands and Guatemala. Born in England, the 21-year-old has acquired his Jamaica passport and could be in line to make his debut for Jamaica. Campbell finished with 7 goals and an assist during Charlton's successful promotion campaign to the English Championship. I think that this is a good move for Jamaica. I think that seeing how Steve McLaren came into the national team setup and he have that caliber above other coaches with that specialty to say then that if he comes into the national team, we more so could get or can get some overseas-based players. And we are seeing that that has been done. Some new faces has been injected into the squad. And even based on the Unity Cup games that we saw Jamaica played, we saw some fluidity. We saw some good glimpse of brilliance from the national team. All right, so you're seeing here that Tyreece Campbell is the number 7 for Charlton Athletic. He has been playing for the club for a while now, and of course he has been the teammate of a Kaim Dixon, who has been playing quite well for Jamaica if we should assess him from the previous games that he played in the Unity Cup. So Tyreece Campbell is 21 years of age. He's known to be a left winger. 44 appearances, 7 goals, 1 assist. He has a few yellow cards, but this looks a bit impressive for him as a 21-year-old, seeing that he has played 80% of the starting 11, 79% minutes covered. So from that, we can understand then that this guy is capable to play more than half minutes when he's playing for the national team. And also 12 goal participation based on percentage. Now we're seeing also that his main position is to play as a left winger, but also he can play as a right winger. Now, my concern is that looking on the fact that this will be his initial debut, hopefully for the Jamaica men's national team, it can be somewhat of a concern to say then, will he adapt fast enough to the national team? And could it be a mistake that Shamar Nicholson has been dropped? Well, let's wait, let's be patient to see what I have to say about what does his inclusion would be for the Jamaica men's national team. So here you're seeing it that Shamar Nicholson is playing in Mexico, whereas Tyreece Campbell is playing in England. And from such, we understood then that League One is a bigger league than the league that Shamar Nicholson is playing in. Looking on the ratings for each player, we are seeing though that for a Tyreece Campbell, he is standing at 6.9%, but for Shamar Nicholson, 6.98. Based on the heat map, Tyreece Campbell is more so active on the left wing. You're seeing glimpses of him also on the right hand side, but you're seeing the right spots that proves that this guy is way more dominant as a player who collects the ball and dribble and go forward and try to create opportunities not for himself but also for his team to score goals. So from that, it seems that this guy has been playing a bit fluid as well. He knows how to connect the dots for Charlton Athletics, and hopefully he can bring the same thing for the Jamaica men's national team. Now for Shamar Nicholson, I am not seeing much on the heat map, but I'm seeing the red spot in the middle, which shows that is it the case that he's kicking off the ball. But we're seeing some yellow areas to say then that he's playing a bit more deep line as a forward, but he has some impact for his team in Mexico. Remember, based on his rating that shows 6.98. Now, based on matches, in terms of minutes covered, you're seeing that Tyreece has been the main man. For total minutes, Tyreece. For appearances, Tyreece. For attacking goal threats, Tyreece. For goals per game, Tyreece. For shots on target, Tyreece. So everything proves now that Tyreece Campbell has to be the man above a Shamar Nicholson selection. I think based on that, that is the reason why Coach Steve McLaren goes for a Tyreece Campbell, because there's something special about this youngster. Based on accuracy in terms of passes, though, Shamar Nicholson, assists per game, Shamar Nicholson, long passing accuracy, Shamar Nicholson. But come on, as Jamaica fan, we wish not to see these long balls too often. Let it stem from Richard King, who knows how to do that better. But I don't want to see this bug of long balls in the team. I want to see the utilization of the midfield more. And for crosses, let's say again, a Tyreece Campbell. Nothing much to say about the defense because it's all about the attacking prowess of these two players. And so good, Tyreece Campbell is outdoing a Shamar Nicholson. Now, people, what impact does this guy have or will have on the Jamaica men's national team? Let's make it be known that it is not a sure thing that he will start against a British Virgin Island or even a Guatemala. But we're hoping then that Jamaica start off quite well, scoring a few goals, let's say 2-0 up, over into the second half. In the 60th minute or 70th minute, we can put on a Tyreece Campbell to give him that freedom to play without being in a position of doubt or being in a position of nervousness. Because when players are nervous, you can see that it will affect their performances. And speaking about that, sometimes I do wonder if that's the case for Shamar Nicholson when he's playing for Jamaica in different games, because this guy has been playing for Jamaica for a good while now. I think he plays about 56 games or 58 for the national team and has scored about 17, 18, or 19 goals. So it shows that this guy is very much impactful in the national team because his presence is known to be important. But based on how Jamaica is playing, based on how I think Coach McLaren wants for the team to go forward, I don't think Shamar Nicholson is that fluid as a frontline player. Seeing that Tyreece Campbell can play on the left hand side, he can play on the right hand side. The dynamics that Jamaica could have playing players who are fluid, like reflecting on the Unity Cup with Cephas playing on the left hand side, sometimes switch on the right hand side, and the same for a Kyle Dixon and a Burrell. I think that is what the coach wants to stick with. But we have to understand then that in different system, that cannot be the main thing. We have to have a target man as a striker. But for me, the impact that this guy Tyreece Campbell will have in the team is fluidity, youthfulness, good form. So his form, I am hoping then that, as I've said earlier on, Jamaica will be in a position in the two qualifying games just to say then we're leading, and then we can bring on a Tyreece Campbell, because Malik Morrisell, I'm not seeing him in the national team squad that has been announced for the World Cup qualifying games. So it is a big opportunity for a Tyreece Campbell. And I want to say here that we should not go out there to underestimate our opposition teams, because football has evolved, teams are playing better, and we cannot take them lightly. So for me, it is a good look to say then that a youth has been given a chance. But going forward, I don't believe then that Shamar Nicholson should be thrown aside, because he has been very experienced in the national team. He has something that he can bring to the national team. Let's say his experience, let's say the culture. So we have to be careful how we select our squad. But hoping that we can recruit more players before the third stage or the third round of the World Cup qualifying stage. Because for me, I am a huge fan of Mason Greenwood, and I think that has been cooled right now. But Tyreece Campbell, who plays for Sheffield United, I think he would be a better option as a frontline striker for the national team. But we're just hoping then that Jamaica will have the positive results as fans, because we believe in going forward and to make it to the World Cup. If we fail, then I guess we can call it for the national team. So in conclusion, people, what is your say on the topic? Tyreece Campbell in, Shamar Nicholson out. What does it mean for the Jamaica Reggae Boyz? For me, it is somewhat of a good thing. I don't feel any way that Shamar Nicholson has been dropped. Maybe he's on vacation, as what some persons would say. But honestly speaking, I believe in having youth with a mixture of seniors. In that case, when players are nervous, you have persons who are there, who are experienced enough to say, you know what, keep going, keep fighting. And I think that that's what Shamar Nicholson does for the national team. He's a positive person. He's a team player. But we have players who are in the midfield, who are on the back line, who can, I think, do the job as well. So I'm hoping that, and I'm expecting for it to be a collective effort for the national team to fight the fight and to give us the results that we need to go forward into the third round of the World Cup stage. So people, let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section, because I believe then that Jamaica should make it to the World Cup, and I'm sure that you guys believe the same. So you all take care. Goodbye until we meet again.